Hello, my name is Tammy Maxey with National Agriculture in the Classroom, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2020 National Excellence in Teaching About Agriculture Award Recognition Ceremony. Today, we're highlighting the accomplishments of our National Teacher Award winner, Patricia Wolfe of Paola, Kansas. If you've not already had a chance, please check out her full video story on Facebook or the National Agriculture in the Classroom website. There'll be an opportunity for Patricia and her state contact, Nancy Zinner-Bernetta, to answer your questions. So please go ahead and communicate those on Facebook or in our chat box there. This year, we are recognizing our national teacher winners a little bit differently, as our national conference in Salt Lake City, Utah has had to transition to a virtual summit due to the COVID pandemic. We are still taking registrations for that. So if you're interested in participating in our virtual summit, please check out our website. Registration is free, and sign up to join us next week. Each of our 8 National Teacher Award winners, along with our agriculture advocate, will be celebrated during the month of June on Facebook Live. The National Ag in the Classroom website has a full schedule listed. We hope that you'll join us for each session and learn about how these exemplary educators have incorporated agriculture concepts into their core classes every day. These teachers have worked diligently throughout the school year to incorporate agricultural concepts into their classrooms and to teach their students the importance of agriculture in their students' daily lives. This program would have been made possible through the contributions of the USDA National Institute for Food and Agriculture and Farm Credit. And we would like to thank our sponsors for supporting us in today's programming. Today, we're recognizing Patricia Wolfe. She is a special education teacher at Lakemary Center School in Paola, Kansas. She develops her own curriculum and uses resources of National Ag in the Classroom and the Kansas Foundation for Agriculture in the Classroom. And she uses outdoor animal and garden therapy centers in her learning for her students. This has become known as the ranch. She reaches students who have different levels of abilities and different learning styles. Patricia, welcome to the program today, and I can't wait, as a former special education teacher myself, to hear your story of how you incorporate agriculture in with your students. Tell us about your program, and welcome.
There we go. Well, I cannot take any credit for all the facilities you see. We had an employee that was here at Lakemary that had a lifelong dream of getting a center, a facility where children could learn about nature and the outdoors. He built all of our animal and garden center facilities and sadly passed away unexpectedly right when everything was built. And I became the teacher out here 2 years ago. And we have gardens and a barn and pens for farm animals and a koi pond, butterfly garden and raised beds, compost pile. So it is an indoor classroom, well, inside the barn classroom. It's very exciting. I cannot hear.
Congratulations and thank you. Tell us a little bit about the ranch and how your program operates.
Okay, I'm going to turn my computer. Can you guys wave and say hi? Hi. We actually have class here year-round. We have extended school year or summer school, and our kids are here Monday through Thursday in the summer. You can see maybe some of the kids over here, and I'm going to just turn my computer. We have them just working away Monday through Thursday, and they come out to our ranch as a special, like music therapy, art therapy, PE, computer class, and then they come here for ag and outdoor education twice a week, each class. We have about 110 students. During the current situation in the world, the students that ride the bus in and go back to their homes at night weren't able to come here for the last couple of months, but we have 65 students that live here, so we have just been social distancing and kind of not going on field trips and doing the best we can Monday through Thursday.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about the garden therapy program that you have.
Okay, well, all of our facilities being a psychiatric residential treatment facility, the treatment part means that each student that's here has a therapist and they're working on goals that brought them to us. So they can use that, the therapy piece of both the animals and the gardens with their therapists and some social skills with us, but then we added in the piece, but not only the therapy, but the actual learning about where does our food, fiber, and fuel come from, and we do that during that classroom portion, so they will know all about agriculture, and a lot of them, as you know, most of us are 2 or 3 generations removed from actually having a grandparent or a parent being a farmer now, so we learn about the agriculture piece of it, and then the therapists and the other employees that I have here help with the therapy end of it, and it's kind of a complete package.
It also looks like you have a lot of animals, right? You've shown some pictures there. What are the benefits of having the animals in your program?
Oh gosh, as you can imagine, even if you're having a bad day, if you get up and pet a bunny or you walk a goat, I'm going to say, do you have a goat here? Let's see, while we're talking, if you walk a goat, it's kind of hard to be in a bad mood. So the animals we use not exclusively for learning about ag ed. So we have the social skills part of it too, and just the relaxation and therapy. But then we can use our animals as a model for instance, our pet pigs are here and we're not going to eat them, but we're going to talk about them, look at them, study, and go to a virtual field trip and see what do farmers use pigs for and what do we eat that comes from a pig. And so we use them as a model, but of course they're our pets.
What support is most important for the success of your program?
Oh gosh. Well, as you can imagine, with a barn like this, it took a few donations. This whole ranch area was built on donations, and the fundraising was done. So it did not. Well, couldn't come out of our school budget, of course, or facility budget, but after that, then, if you're going to do this, you either have to have a host, like I've heard some of the other teachers talking about their garden, a host of volunteers that are really dedicated, or when you're a facility like we are 7 days a week, you have to have other employees. One person cannot do it all. And so I am lucky enough to have 2 full-time employees that also are out here at the ranch helping not only with classes, but upkeep, maintenance, animal care, when they're not teaching it to students. It takes a village.
It does. You've talked a lot about the therapy setting, whether it be the animals or whether it's either be the gardens. You also talked in your video a bit about the career opportunities and career preparedness. So tell us a little bit about how you're using the agricultural concepts available at your ranch to prepare your students for entering the workforce, because it does look like you have a lot of secondary folks there.
We do, and we do have elementary students here also, but as you can guess, with special populations, sometimes different career paths would be chosen. Some of them they didn't realize might be realized out here. For instance, even some of our students that had not ever been around animals or gardens are finding their niche. They love to water the plants. They love to care for one specific animal. We have some students that like to clean rabbit cages, go figure. So they're finding out that there are things that they could be employed with, especially the horticulture part. Most all of our students, even the nonverbal ones, really enjoy watering the plants, and it's therapeutic and it's helpful.
That's true, that's true. Your program is very elaborate. It could be very overwhelming for most teachers to see all the many things that you have going on. What would you tell a teacher that's just starting this program? How would you advise them to use this as a startup for their folks?
Definitely, and again, I was so fortunate when the gentleman Andre said he was going to build a barn, because it all started with a chicken and a couple of rabbits, and I thought, oh, cool, a barn, and we'll have a little shed for a couple animals. And then we came up with this. So that is not where I would definitely think most people would be able to start. But if you start with gardening, for instance, as you know, you can grow potatoes and all kinds of things in small containers inside a classroom. You can have several different things that are grown in 5-gallon buckets. You can have a rabbit. I know some of the other teachers mentioned rabbits, turtles, and so forth inside their classroom. And if they can't even do that, I highly suggest getting the people in the community to say, oh, you want to learn about agriculture? I'll bring a sheep to your back door. Kind of think outside the box. I'll bring my horse and we can meet in the parking lot, and then you can go back in and learn continue your lessons. So starting small with a garden inside the classroom, hydroponics, aquaponics, those kind of things would get the community and whoever you need help from, administrators. My administrators are super and supportive, but starting small might show them the interest that the kids have, and then go from there and build. And maybe you'll get to be where you can have an outdoor area with maybe a couple animals because of the interest being so high.
What do you think the greatest success of your program has been?
Where's Marcy? Oh, I think the successes are the aha moments when the students go, I did not know that's where a carrot came from, or I did not know that's how we just finished a potato lesson, and several of the adults said, I did not know that's how you grow a potato. So the aha moments when the kids get to realize where their food comes from, and it isn't a grocery store first, that's the last stop before they get it. I think those are the greatest successes, and realizing where the food, fiber, and fuel comes from in everyday life. And speaking of administrators, I didn't mention as much before when I said the support of the community and the volunteers if you need them. And I'm lucky enough to have staff, but I have, Marcy is my principal here. I have support that's beyond belief for the things that I want to do, and the messy projects and the sloppiness in the school, even when I drag it in there. And I think that is key to show your administrators how much the students enjoy it if you're just starting out a program. But I think Marcy is here for a moment to actually give me something that was sent. So I'm going to let her go back to her meeting, but
Here you are, Patricia, with your National Ag in the Classroom Award.
thank you very much. And it makes a huge difference when you have administrators to be supportive for the things that you want to do. And when they think your ideas are crazy and then they turn out to be successful, then I can't tell you how important that is. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you so much.
It is very important to have supportive administration, and you're lucky to have a principal who supports your endeavors as well. And she mentioned your National Agriculture in the Classroom Award. Tell me a little about your involvement with your Kansas City Agriculture in the Classroom program.
In Kansas, yes, I did not realize the resources available, I will be honest, until I went to the national meeting in Arkansas last year. And I was so excited that I will tell you that I still have lists of things from that meeting that I have not even scratched the surface on and got to do yet. So if anybody is able to go, for instance, Salt Lake City is obviously not going to happen, but Des Moines next year, if there's any chance that they get to go, the hands-on activities that I got and brought home there's still a whole list of them that I didn't even get to. So between the National Ag and the Classroom Curriculum Matrix, there's a whole list of lesson plans there, and my Kansas website. I do not have to reinvent the wheel. I can go on there and I'm thinking, this week I did potatoes, and there's a list of 6 things that I could do, and I just have to pick one. I don't have to think about it. I just have to implement it. So for teachers just starting out for an ag program, I highly recommend not to try to make it up all yourself.
Well, on that note, let me bring in your state contact from Kansas Ag in the Classroom, Nancy Zinger-Benedo. Nancy, I know you're really proud of your national winner here. Tell us a little bit about what brought her to you all's attention and what made her stand out in the crowd as an exemplary educator for your program.
Well, her passion for animal science and helping young people is contagious. And you can see that as you saw her students in the video, her principal and the other staff that she works with. I mean, she inspires the educators around her to be innovative. And she uses agriculture curriculum not only as a mechanism to help students learn about where their food comes from and to support core curriculum, but also as a means for supporting emotional health, which is a great example of the many ways that agriculture touches all people that are involved in the industry. And of course, we're so thankful for our national organization to recognize one of our outstanding Kansas educators and to share her success story. And we want to take this minute to congratulate Patricia for being recognized as a National Excellence in Teaching About Agriculture Award. So we're so proud of you, Patricia, and we're so proud of the work that you do. And thank you for sharing your story with all of us.
Thank you again. I have to say it definitely is something I could not do by myself. So I definitely appreciate all the help I've been given and the facilities that I have to work with make it easy.
What do you think are some of the challenges of integrating agriculture into your programming?
My particular challenge is I have grades K through 12 and actually age 21. If you're in special ed, you can stay until 21. And cognitive levels ranging from about 4 years old up to high school age. So that in general is unique to me, that it's a challenge, but the hands-on part, even when I have all this, it's hard to fit in to explain exactly what impact agriculture has on the world when our little tiny view is here in a very tiny spot. So that's why it's good to use the technology, the virtual field trips, the books, and hands-on things, because it's just a challenge to get them to realize how big of an impact agriculture makes. You can use the words, but we wouldn't have anything to eat if there wasn't agriculture.
What do you think the next steps of expansion are for your program? Because you have a really nice facility and you have a lot going on, but every educator always has their next step. Where's your next growth going to be?
If you could bring Winston over here. Sorry. My next step, we would like to try to get a few more smaller animals, just because I didn't mention this, but we always like to explain to the kids the difference between pets, farm animals, wild animals, and zoo animals, for instance. So we like to give a well-rounded explanation between the pets and the wildlife and the farm animals. So it would be kind of nice to have some native species and some of that. Expansion-wise, we're a little bit surrounded by the rest of our facility. So and we are also, I did mention, in town, a lot of city council meetings and so forth were had and attended to get approval to have this pretty much right inside town. And I just had to bring in one of my buddies here while we're talking. But so we're kind of right now at the limit space-wise that we would be, but we are open to suggestion and we have room to plant more things. But animals-wise, we're kind of on hold right now. This is Winston. Oh, this is Clementine, Winston's friend, and this is our English lob rabbit. And as you can see, if you're in a bad mood, just come to class. Come to class and we'll let you hang out with some cool rabbits and so forth.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about how do you make sure your animal herd health is still happening? Do you guys have a vet that you work with? And if so, is that part of your programming for your students as well?
Absolutely. We try to get them to see all the aspects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the smelly. So we do have a local vet that we work with. Oddly enough, besides my animal science and special ed degrees, I'm a vet tech. So we can do some of the things here, but it's super important to teach the students to care for something else besides themselves. So we try to involve them with, we trim the rabbit's nails and the goat hooves, and we clean out the manure. So we try to make sure they know that it's not just all fuzzy and furry and fun.
Do you use it in any job shadowing capacities?
Oh, we do have, I have an employee here that has taken it upon himself to take a college course on human-animal interactions and interventions, and he has created a program that we're just starting where more individual students will come out with just him. Even if I'm teaching class, he'll go in and get the individual students, and they'll have a job and take care of a certain part of the ranch, but we're going to expand that to where they will actually have an assigned job that they sign up for. And one of the other teachers I know has an interview process and so forth. So we'll expand into that now.
So I know you talked about the entire life cycle with your students, and working with the beginning life is always exciting. But like you said before, your pigs are not going to become bacon anytime soon. However, some of the animals there will probably reach the end of their life cycle there. How do you deal with that with your students? What concepts does it teach them? How does it handle the emotional factor? Tell us about dealing with that part of the life cycle with your students.
You know what, we do talk about that too. And if one passes away, we talk about the aspect that everything that's alive does eventually pass away. We had a duck that met an untimely death. We had a little funeral. And we talk about farm animals don't always have funerals, but I have a hand off Mr. Winston on your shoulder like a bunny there, like a baby. So we do talk about it. We don't really want to sugarcoat it unless there's a student that can't cognitively understand it. We do talk about the whole life cycle. We recently hatched some baby quail in our incubator, and 2 of them that did not make it, and we talk about that, and that is the life cycle.
Do you find that in most cases that helps them bring conclusion, and then they can relate that as they deal with other parts of life as well?
Yes, definitely. I agree with that. It does.
So what's your favorite part of the ranch?
Oh, it's like saying which child is my favorite. I'm a little partial to our new mini therapy horse that's not making an appearance today, but she's about 29 inches tall, and I've always liked horses, so maybe that, but honestly, it would be almost impossible to say a favorite animal. The animals are my favorite as compared to the garden, but that's because they can react a little bit better.
What are you able to grow in your garden?
Peppers. We have peppers, corn, green beans, tomatoes, and in a high tunnel we have radishes, zucchini, we have some basil, we have flowers, lots and lots of tomatoes.
Is most of that harvest then used at school?
Yes, last year we had more than we kind of expected that we would, so we did use it mainly for the students and staff, but we have a new kitchen and a new dietitian, and we're going to try to incorporate that also.
Are your students then able to go in and do food preparation and then kind of move it on into a culinary program?
We do not have a culinary program per se, but they get to help wash and prepare before they take it in where the other people would process it further.
Well, you guys have just a wonderful piece going there. And it sounds like you were really blessed to have someone who really helped you out quite a bit with that. How's your growing season, and how does weather affect your place?
Here in Kansas, we have some winters, of course, and freezes that would not allow us to grow 4 seasons, but our high tunnel, which is just a greenhouse that isn't enclosed, allows us to do pretty much 3 seasons, so that helps.
That is really great. So you're lucky on that. I'm just going to kind of bring it up to a little close of a few little things. Again, I'm so glad to have an opportunity to talk with you, Patricia, and to see your place and to actually see students. Prior to us opening this up live, everyone in the background on this presentation were like, oh, kids at school. We have not seen that since March for most of us. So in a way, you were very lucky to still have your main reason there with you, and I see you showing them to me in the background now. So I thank you very much, and thank you for sharing your children and your animals with us today, and just the many things that happen inside your program. We'd like to thank Sure. We'd like to thank
And it's
everyone for participating in today's recognition of our 2020 National Excellence in Teaching About Agriculture Award recipient. And today we celebrated Patricia Wolfe of Paola, Kansas. She's had a wonderful example of how agricultural concepts are an exciting way about not only learning about all subjects, but also about our emotional well-being. We hope that you have learned something today and then enjoyed this recognition ceremony. And we invite you to join us for the next ceremony, which will be held on Friday, June 19th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where we will recognize our 2020 National Excellence in Teaching About Agriculture Award recipient, Pamela Hall of Virginia. And again, as a reminder, if you're interested in participating in our virtual summit, please visit agclassroom.org and register for one or all 12 of those sessions. I would like to thank Nancy Zinger-Beneda from Kansas Ag in the Classroom, Patricia Wolfe from her school today, and thank each one of you for joining us this afternoon to learn a little bit more about our national recipient. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much.